Welcome back, everybody. It's been a long time. Let's get straight into it.
Right.
Hey guys, good to see you all again. Lucian here. Uh, yeah, decent week. For the first time this season, I did not take a hit, so I did okay. I did okay, and I'm quite happy about that. How about you guys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Good.
ditto. First really good week for me as well. I climbed over like 1.5 million spots, so that's something. It's a bonus. I'm still, pretty languishing low in the league table, but we move on. We hopefully get better.
Yeah, small green for me this week overall, but I dropped in our group in our league, I think.
I'm stuck in limbo. I can get up just little bits at a time and then I'll go down a little bit. I can't move. We're stuck. FPL limbo.
You know what? We're all coming for you.
I'm not
Yeah,
worried.
yeah.
Not worried.
We are competing to see who finishes bottom currently, it seems like.
Yeah, seems like it. NTFPL night. All right. So this week, welcome to the actual first international pod. We are doing this on a weird time, and we are having some really weird times, especially on the international scene. There is new development coming out every day, with the latest being Salah having COVID. So, in the meantime, while we let all of that play out, we're basically going to take this pod going through cream of the crop advice threads from Reddit, because we like shitting on Reddit. And yeah, first half of this segment goes to the discussion portion, and of course we'll eventually go to the Rate My Team threads, which is where things get funny. But for now, let's have some genuine discussion before it all deteriorates. First topic being Jack Grealish. So it says here that he has the second most shots out of any midfielder in the game, without looking at XG. And that's it. Let's discuss. I do not like the guy, even though he does look like he can summon magic out of nowhere from the left flank. But yeah, I really cannot stand the fact that he does nothing for 90 and he does something in the 97th minute. How about you guys?
I think cannot stand's a bit harsh. I think for his price, and I mean, if we're talking about him in general, I think for his price, you can't go far wrong, to be honest. And if you look at the context of his next 6 to 8 fixtures, I just think he's going to be in everyone's team soon.
But is he essential? I don't think so.
Well, he's not essential. You can mix and match with maybe, I don't know,
Because I have Ollie Watkins,
Zaha or
the
something.
Alfred Butler, and he's just doing just as fine. I mean, obviously, there's weeks where Grealish has killed it, and Watkins hasn't. But like last week where Watkins got 2 goals and Grealish only assisted 1.
Yeah, but that was the only time that Watkins has outscored him, I think, so far. And I think, in general, even when he's blank, Grealish has looked crazy dangerous, whereas sometimes Watkins has looked quite quiet. I do agree he's not essential, but I just think I would say you should look at getting Grealish if you don't. But if you've got Watkins, you're not unhappy to have Watkins either, are you? I mean, Villa in general.
Yeah, like I'm very happy to own Watkins, as there's not really many places, in the forwards, but in the mids, it's just I don't think I can fit him in. I can fit Grealish into my midfield at the moment. So it's
Yeah, that's fair.
We have someone that has just bought Grealish. Justin, could you elaborate on how you got him in?
Yeah, so how I got him in, well, mainly it was I was having the same problem of I liked him and there was no space in the midfield. And then good mate of mine, Christian Pulisic, does me a favour, makes a decision for me and gets injured. So I got him in. It's actually, I made some money off the deal, and I made points straight away. So he's done well. The thing about Grealish is that last year, Villa finished 17th, and they had 3 problems. They had a problem with, the goalkeeper. They had terrible goalkeepers. They had terrible defenders, and they didn't have a striker, basically. And so what happened was Jack Grealish was like their only attacking player, and people marked him out every game. What Villa have done now is that, they went out, they bought Ollie Watkins, did really well for Brentford, I believe. And Ollie Watkins, very good at holding up the ball. You can hit it long to him. He's got good movement off the ball. So he's a very good striker type to be an outlet. The other thing they did is that they get Barkley and they get Traore. And so what this means is that all the creative pressure isn't on Grealish anymore. And if you look at his numbers have gone up so much because of that. Because instead of, getting the ball and he has 5 people on top of him, people have to mark Barkley and they have to mark Traore and they have to mark Watkins. And so he's, in a way, having less pressure and less emphasis on him has actually made him play better.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Barkley, because I was going to say, Barkley is low-key, well, not really low-key, but he's one of the most underrated signings this season, I think. Like, he's probably made more of an impact to that Villa team than Ollie Watkins, than Emi Martinez, any of the new signings in that team, just because of the way he, like you say, he frees up space in the midfield. He takes the attention away from Grealish and all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, couple of Arsenal fans on here, I'm sure you'll agree. Ross Barkley took the absolute piss out of your team at times in that game. It was a shock.
I'll have to agree.
It looked, it was embarrassing almost. Not trying to rub it in. I'm just saying he's a quality. He's absolutely, you could be forgiven for thinking he might be a world class player if you just saw that game from him. It looked fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're going to be hot and cold at times and from game to game. But I think Villa in general, with their fixtures coming up, with their prices, I wouldn't feel sad having 2 of them. But I've got Grealish at the moment.
Okay, wait. So for the teams who have Grealish, what is your current setup? Like, Justin, what are your 5 midfielders?
Yes, by the way, I have Grealish and Watkins. So, I have in midfield, well, at the moment I have Grealish, Zaha, Salah, James Rodriguez, and Son. Son is about to become Kevin De Bruyne. It just depends on price changes. I've got a good bench, so I'm willing to just wait a week on Salah. And then, so that's that. And then in forward, it's Calvert-Lewin, Watkins, and Brewster. So it's a bit cheaper in the forward line. But yeah, so in a sense, it's weird. Grealish is, I think, my cheapest midfielder. But it's sort of like the 2 high and 3 medium is what I've gone for.
And Todd?
So before my transfers, it's Salah, Son, James, Grealish, and Podence. And I guess obviously Podence of those is the weakest, and I don't really particularly like having him, but he's playing Southampton this week. But I think 2 more expensive, 2 sort of in the middle, and 1 cheaper is kind of the balance there, I guess you'd say. I think Son is going to become Bruno this week. I wish it could become KDB, but I don't have the funds to get there without a hit anyway.
So it's basically, if you're running a 3-5-2, no matter what the midfield, then you can get Grealish. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I feel if you're running just 4, assuming you're going to have a Salah and most people have Son, or someone that Son is going to go to, plus maybe a Kane or something like that, it could be quite difficult to get a Grealish. But I'm on the verge of going out of my way to get Grealish if I didn't have him, because he's just. It's weird because like some games he'll blank and not look like he should have blanked, and sometimes like against Southampton when he got 2 returns in injury time. He was quite lucky, but I think it evened out to the sort of points that he deserved to get over that set of games.
That goal was just so clutch.
The keeper didn't even dive. It was so funny. It's you love to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a great discussion. So we move on. Next hot topic
Oh,
is... Oh, dear
oh, we can
goodness.
mention Salah, I guess. Well, what are you guys doing with Salah?
Oh,
I think I'm just going to hold him and bring a bench player on.
Is he close to falling at all? Let me just check.
Even then, that's only if you're gonna transfer him out. It matters if you're gonna keep
He's
him.
minus 75.2 now. If he does fall, at some point during next week as well, then you can possibly get him back for 0.2 cheaper. I mean, I don't know how much money you guys had invested, but
Maybe.
Yeah,
I got him at 12.
you get him in at 0.2 cheaper, but you also get him in 2 free transfers later.
yeah.
And who's to say some other shit doesn't go wrong? And
Yeah, but in my scenario, let's just go through my team quickly. So my 5 mids at the moment are Salah, Jota, James Rodriguez, Zaha, and Harvey Barnes. Now, if I sell Salah, I can basically go to anyone in the game. It would be either Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes. If I sell, but if I bench Salah for a week, that means I'm forced to play Barnes, who plays Liverpool, and then after next week he plays Fulham, Sheffield, and Brighton. So I kind of don't want to sell him just yet.
So, Keats, were you gonna bench Barnes anyway?
I was going to bench Barnes to play Salah. Yeah.
yeah, just play Barnes. So I mean, that's what I'd do anyway. I just think I want him back, and I don't like using 2 transfers just to have the same player.
I'm just terrified of not owning Bruno or KDB at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but KDB's away at Spurs this week. I don't think that's. I mean, obviously KDB is KDB. He could do whatever, but I don't think we're expecting a goal fest against a Mourinho side against a top team. But
not yet.
you don't know. I mean, City could win 6-0 for all we know. It's just you've got to bet, haven't you?
Is Milivojevic
I wouldn't think.
this week or next week?
Milivojevic.
Yeah, just wondering.
So he was always fit, wasn't he? He just didn't start games.
He got a red...
he's suspended until the 5th of December.
Right. Okay.
So he's
Yeah, because I have Zaha, and if he's not on pens, he'd be more likely to go. But he's still on pens.
Yeah, I mean Zaha's on pens for the next few games. Yeah, I mean the only one, because obviously the natural thinking process is if you're selling Salah is I want to get either Mane or KDB, but they've both got fixes that I don't see the need to rush in for. And then would you want to get Salah straight back? I don't know.
Yeah,
the only one really is Bruno, who's at home to West Brom. That could be quite a good score if you wanted to take the risk on a big score and then going back. But
and the thing is too, I don't really have a set in stone captain choice for the next week. Set in stone, maybe James against Fulham.
I think James is not a bad shout. He's
not really 100%, and he's not looking the best lately. I was originally going to captain Salah. I've now got it on Diogo Jota, which I probably won't go ahead with. But if you put someone like that's an instant captain.
Yeah, I think so. Bruno will be my captain as it stands, I think. So I can't disagree with you there. What about Watkins? Home to Brighton. It's not terrible. Anyway, if we're talking about Salah, I think I'm gonna hold. But if Liverpool were playing a juicy game, I think I might consider going. But
is Matt Ryan back? He played last week. Yeah, Can I tell you how annoyed I was? I set up my whole team to not have Emi Martinez for this one game and play Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan gets a clinch, and I'm like, oh, thank God the tactic works out. He goes, Emmy, he gets the same amount of points. Yes.
Well, it's worked out okay for you. Yeah, I guess you got to play Emmy from now on. a little bit.
Yeah, now with his fixtures. So like if I ever need more points, I can just trade out Ryan.
Okay, so what are you? I assume you've got Salah, Lucy.
I'm benching because I have Lookman as my first sub against Everton.
Oh, you got Lookman.
Time out. Let's rewind things. What were you feeling in the 96th minute of that game, Lucy? Take us through your emotions.
Nothing. I mean, he was my first bench the whole while.
Oh, he was on your bench. Okay.
Yeah,
but
he was on my bench the whole while. I didn't plan to play him again.
Were you watching that game live?
Yeah, I was watching that game live.
So around
That's
the
so weird.
around the 93rd minute, just what were you thinking? Like, take us through the entire
Whole roller coaster.
last 5 minutes of that game.
Okay, so West Ham played Fulham. Actually, the story started from the first minute because that one free transfer I made was picking up Cresswell.
Right.
So
Oh.
Cresswell did so well in the first half. I was just looking at it and going, wow, for once a proper bandwagon pick makes sense, even though tactically he's at left centre back, he's doing jack shit there. And then somehow he's having so much influence, creating all these chances for people. And I'm like, oh, Cresswell's doing all right. Much better than Masuaku or Kufal and whatnot. And then West Ham score. Kufal gets that assist. I'm like, whatever, fine, whatever.
Wait,
Then I look at Cresswell's
assist.
I think Kufal. Oh no, sorry, it was.
It was.
it was someone else. No, sorry.
Just
Forgot his name.
put the cross in. Haller was offside. Then Benrahma got it and passed to Suchek.
Yeah, I think it was Benrahma. Sorry.
Yeah. It was Ben Rama.
Yeah, it was Benrahma. Sorry, Kufal got bonus. That's what I meant. Okay, so yes, at that point, Cresswell was still on for bonus, and I was looking at it. I'm going, okay, fine. That one move looks fine. Yeah. Then in the last 3 minutes, Fulham still looked really, really shit. To be honest, and Lookman was nowhere near the game. Like, they were just chucking on stupid people and making stupid decisions. And then that VAR thing happened. And it did not look like a penalty. I don't even know why the referee stopped it for so long to give it. Because I was just assuming, I was ready to turn off the TV. Really. I was just ready to go like, all right, that's done. It's 1-0. And then the referee's just standing there waiting and looking at the thing. I'm like, really? I'm just standing there going, really? This is a stupid thing. I'm going to lose my clean sheet this way? Really? Of all things? Yeah. And then...
Who steps up?
Yeah. Then Lookman steps up and I'm like, huh? He's on my bench. The one
Mitrovic was on the pitch at that point, wasn't he?
Exactly. I was like, oh, Mitrovic. I was like, these stupid Mitrovic pickers. Like, no discredit to Raj, but I really cannot stand the fact that Mitrovic's points have all been penalties. Like, Vardy getting penalties, fine, because Leicester have a lot of good players that can go down easily. But Fulham don't deserve penalties. So how do Fulham even get one here and they're gonna luck out? Yeah, then Lookman steps out and just like, okay, I'm gonna like, technically I should have them both on. I think that was still midweek. So I was like thinking to myself, I was looking through my lineup going, were there any players that possibly weren't going to play? Oh, Liverpool hadn't played yet. Yeah, Liverpool weren't about to play City. So I was just thinking, okay, maybe if Jota doesn't play against Man City because he's rested for some reason, I'll get Lookman on. And then Lookman does that. He does that. And I'm just like, okay. I'm trying to take some perspective here. He's how old is he? 20? 21?
Yeah.
Early 20s?
He's
Maybe.
pretty young.
Yeah, he's pretty young. And I was like, he's established, he's young. Is he confident or is he just impudent? No, not impudent, insolent. Is he just like, oh,
He's 23.
Malenka.
23.
And
Damn.
I watched that penalty and that Panenka wasn't even good. Like, it was so bad that Fabianski dies and he has time to get up to catch it with his hands.
He's no
Oh,
Alexis Sanchez. Alexis is the only one who can do that in the 96th minute.
it's weird because, like, the way you take a Panenka is that you run and you don't actually kick it. You're supposed to run into the ball and your body's momentum just, like, brings the ball
You
into
keep
the net.
running. You don't stop. You keep running.
Exactly. And he stops and he digs into the ground with it and the chip is so low. Oh my god.
He's probably never done it before. It's like, oh, I'll try this out. It could be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh.
convinced it would have crossed the line if Fabianski didn't do
If
anything.
you're feeling nervous, surely you just put your laces through it.
I mean, if it
Yeah.
had been saved and he'd have blasted it,
Yeah,
sometimes you just have to say fair enough.
As Scott Parker
Yeah.
said in the interview, like everyone misses penalties, but you can't miss it like that. Like,
Yeah.
like if you like blast it down the middle and Fabianski like saved it, and then fair enough, he tried. But like that is just he didn't even try. He just fucked it up.
Oh,
The only
and the worst
saving
bit is
grace is
that
they're probably going to go
Yeah.
down without needing that point anyway, to be honest. But
Fulham, I tell you, Fulham just can't take penalties. Like Mitrovic has missed his last two, if you count the one against Scotland. I think last season, the last season, Fulham in the top flight, Mitrovic gave one to Kamara, who also missed, and then now obviously Mitrovic gave this one to Lookman, who also missed. So I don't know who's the actual penalty taker now. I mean, it's probably Mitrovic again, but he's not got a great.
he missed one for the internationals.
Yeah, he missed one yesterday, I think. Or
it was the shootout against Scotland, wasn't it? So
they should just give
Great.
the Kenny. Isn't Kenny the captain? Tom Kenny?
Yeah, Candy's the captain.
just give it to Areola. Fuck it. Let's get a keeper taking him. That'd be good. I just want to point out that we're all below, besides Justin, obviously, we're all below the Senate Dead team.
Areola must feel so hard done by this year. Like last season, he was playing with like Thibaut Courtois and like Sergio Ramos, and now he's playing with
I feel like Fulham always get these weird transfers. Like they got like Jean-Michel Seri.
Yes.
Actually.
Van
Yes,
der
it was
Sar
Seri.
played for them for a bit as well. And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's just because they're in the posh end of London.
Yeah, Berbatov played.
Jerry is still contracted to Fulham. He's just on loan,
Oh, right.
and they still have Zambo and Guisa, he's doing all right, I guess. But
Yeah, and Guisa's great. He looks really good. Yeah.
Oh,
Fulham just are in this weird position where initially it looked like they weren't going to change up their squad. And then I think right before the transfer window ended, they bought all these weird players. Again, Fulham are doing this stupid shit of trying to make wholesale changes to like do something different. Yeah. Thing is what?
Yeah.
The
Tried the same thing again.
Yeah.
Except Mitrovic is worse this time, it seems like. He's bagged a few, but mostly pens. Oh, Portugal still losing to France.
Oh, gosh.
Switzerland are still beating Spain. Oh, Ramos has missed 2 pens. Anyway, back. What's next on the top of this week? Oh, Lookman has become.
Okay.
Oh, so I think we could talk about how bad Aubameyang's been as an asset.
Yeah. That's
Like,
such a shame. I was looking at
I'm
getting
not.
it.
I don't want to talk about his necessarily how well he's played in general because I've not watched enough Arsenal games. I don't think. But even when we all owned him for those first 2 games, I think we expected more than a goal and an assist. And since then, he's had only 1 attack in return, which was the penalty against Man United in 6 games. What do we think, especially the Arsenal fans? What's going on there?
You know what? I think Williams sort of rubbed off on Aubameyang. Like when William was playing for Chelsea, it was always for years. When his contract was expiring, he'd turn into fucking Eden Hazard level, and then as soon as he signs a new contract, he goes back to being bang average. And Aubameyang's done exactly the same thing. Now that you put Willian in the same team as Aubameyang, he signs a contract, and now he's back to being bang average.
Yeah, it's
Strange.
so no double-digit scores so far. Obviously, a lot of blanks, more blanks than returns. It's not great, is it? I mean, I think at some point surely he's got to come good again, and he's dropping in price, but I'm not rushing to buy him.
Yeah, we just don't have any creativity going forward for some reason.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, Arteta likes to play his 3-4-3 formation, which you know that formation works great against teams like Chelsea and Man City and Man United even. But you can't play that against like teams like Aston Villa or West Brom, who will just sit back and beat you on the counter, because you know there's no creativity there.
Here's the thing.
The 3-4-3 relies on soaking up the pressure and just blasting it down through like from Kieran Tierney or Hector Bellerin to like Aubameyang and Pepe or Willian on the wings. That just doesn't work.
Here's the thing, though, right? It can. You just have to play different. I don't know if you noticed. Aston Villa pressed us a whole lot more than Manchester United did. You know, they had a lot of, between Watkins, Grealish and Barkley, they were really pushing up on us. The difference is, you can see it when you watch Aston Villa, actually, because what they have is ball-carrying midfielders. I mean, he didn't massively do it against us, but I'm sure you've seen it. Jack Grealish does this thing. He actually did do it against us. Watch is it the third goal? The Ollie Watkins goal? Watch what he does. Emi Martinez has the ball, throws it to Grealish like a quarter of the way up the field. So he's halfway in his own half. He can just dribble past entire teams, take it to the other side of the field entirely, and then he just plays a through ball for Watkins and Watkins score. So what he can do is he can progress the ball by himself and he can run past players. And I think I can go on about Arsenal. The thing that annoys me about Arsenal, I feel they're scared to pass forward. Honestly. And
It feels very safe, doesn't it? I mean, there's so few chances.
It really hurts me. You know, they get on the wing, you're like, oh, put in a cross. They just pass it back to, the fullback. And I'm like, why'd you do that? You just spent the past, because they're so meticulous in their build-up play. The build-up play is so nice. They spend 5 minutes to get you all the way, on in the crossing position on the side of the box. And then they pass back. I'm like, oh, well, now you got to do that move for 5 minutes again. And to be honest, I really think the problem with Aubameyang is a personnel problem. I think between Lacazette and Willian, he's not getting the support. It's like similar to what I'm talking about Grealish, If you're an opposition centre-back and you see, you've got 45-year-old Lacazette and 38-year-old Willian just sitting there, what are you going to do? You're going to go sit on Aubameyang because he's the only one who's going to score against you. And it's why it really annoys me. You've got these kids who are coming through. Right? So you've got like Eddie Nketiah who gets a goal every time he plays because that's just what he does. Eddie Nketiah is just the biggest. He's like, I don't know if it's Jamie Vardy I'd compare him to, but he's just. Or if you just put the ball into the box, he's just always in the right spot. He just knows like where goals are. He's such a poacher. And then you've got like Reece Nelson, who's very exciting. And then you've got Joe Willock, who is actually the person I would like to see the most, who just runs from midfield, makes movement around the box. And it's sort of the things you need. If you go back to one of the earlier pods I was on, I was talking about Arteta doing the stuff, making creativity through movement, so he'll get player runs and so he didn't have any creators in the team, but the players would run around and that would sort of make the creativity for them, and that's just not happening at the moment. So
and now Partey's injured as well.
I don't think it's a serious one. I'm not too worried about it, but I mean, the midfield hurts. I don't think the midfield the problem. I mean, I think it's not that hard to fix. If I was the coach, I would swap Willian for Pepe, move Aubameyang to the middle, Saka to the left, make it a 4 at the back, and take Lacazette out for Willock and play Willock in a attacking midfield sort of position.
I disagree with playing Saka on the left. I think he's wasted there. I think that because we've got no creativity in the middle, he needs to play in the middle. And playing two midfielders just is not working.
I just didn't. Did you not hear what I said? I said take Lacazette out for Willock.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, rant over. We can talk about. There are 19 other teams in this league.
Yeah. They say Mohamed El Neni was absolutely brilliant against Man United, and then against Aston Villa, he turned back into being a pile of hot garbage again.
He wasn't that bad. He was
rubbish.
It's a strange situation because I didn't think under Arteta last season goal scoring was the issue, but this season completely the issue. I mean, it's not just lack of goals. It's not like you've been unlucky. I just think you've scored the amount of goals you'd expect you to score with the chances you've created. Until that changes, I guess Oba's off the menu.
It's almost like what Justin said earlier, that fact that people are just trying to sit on Aubameyang the whole time. It's almost like we're trying not to use him as much.
He looks lost. He honestly, I don't know if he looks. I wouldn't go as far as saying he looks like he doesn't care, but he's sort of out on the left wing by himself, and like he's not connected to anyone. He just looks. He's just there by himself.
Trying not to use him. It's like, well, what's the fucking logic in that? He's our best fucking strike person.
Keith is upset.
Yeah. I know XG doesn't have a good reputation, but his XG per 90 this season is 0.17, as opposed to last season 0.47, season before 0.77, season before that for Arsenal 0.78. It's a huge drop, and I think it is because he's basically just being sat on, isn't he? But shortly at some stage he'll come good. But
the only insight I can provide on this is that Arteta's regime has been very strict, as in the roles that he wants everyone to play is a very strict one. So he doesn't allow for freedom in that sense. And I think Aubameyang suffers as a result, because if you ask me, Aubameyang does look like a player that thrives on chaos compared to the rest of the team. Like, if you want to implement structure on the existing team, I think most of them would do okay, which is why I think Lacazette is still in the team, because he listens to instructions well. But if you allow freedom, like for Aubameyang to change positions to wherever he wants, then I think he'll do much better. But I think Arteta's got to let that go, because this strict thing where he likes to emulate Pep, where he implements like multiple systems and he has roles for everyone to like do specifically this, and this is your option A, option B, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's making Aubameyang suffer, if you ask me.
I'm really looking forward to when Gabby Martinelli's back. He's one of those players that can just, he can play up top and he can sort of interchange with Aubameyang, and they can sort of swap positions, cover each other, So it's sort of the same mold of player. Eddie Nketiah, he's a sort of out and out poacher, like centre forward poacher. So you can't stick him out wide or whatever. Whereas like Martinelli, he's the guy who will play out wide, move to the middle, and vice versa. So if Aubameyang wants to go to the centre for 20 minutes of a game, Martinelli go out wide, and then the same thing will happen if Martinelli wants to go in the middle. So, I'm looking forward to when that happens, but won't be for a while.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, just a quick one before we move on to the next topic. Remember how we mentioned that Fulham were a team that did wholesale changes? So, out of the 11 that started against Fulham, half of them literally were on loan. So the back line, Anderson on loan from Lyon, Aina on loan from Torino, Lookman from Leipzig, and yeah, Ariola from PSG, and Robinson, Adara Bioyo. These are all new signings. So basically, besides Kenny, Reed, and Mitrovic, everyone else is new. Yeah, so that's really been Fulham's downfall. And they still had Loftus-Cheek came on as well, who was a loanee from Chelsea. Okay, case closed. Fulham are shit. All right, next up. Gomez. Do you want to talk about Gomez?
I guess Liverpool injuries in general, especially to their defence.
Yeah.
Do we
got-
still have
I've got-
Robertson? Do we all
I've
still have
got
Robertson?
Robertson, but
If you still own Robertson, what do you do with him? Like, do you hold him or do you just sell?
I don't want to remove him for a hit, but I can't see the cleans being great.
They'll figure it out. It's fine.
It's not pressing enough right now for me, but it's
Because obviously
it's not great.
Arnold you'd sell because he's out for a month, but Robertson's a difficult one because he's still going to be, because without Alexander Arnold there, you think they'll probably go to him more for the assists, the wide play, and he'll be on all the corners now, not half. He'll be on all the corners. But as you say, like, you know, their defense without Van Dijk, without Gomez, without Fabio, is Fabinho back? I don't know, but they've got basically 3 kids in defense. So yeah,
I think Fabinho's back soon, but yeah, I think it was Matip injured as well now.
yeah. And they look like these are the second worst defense in the league as well, even with Alexander Arnold and with Gomez. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
it's tricky.
they'll come in and smash it. Who knows? But
I'll probably keep Robertson for this week because I don't want to take a hit, and next week because just see how they go on against Brighton, and then if it's feeling tragic, it's pretty easy to move Robertson to anyone that isn't Trent, and obviously you don't want Trent right now because he's injured, and also you're getting rid of Robertson anyway.
who do you have in your back line, Todd? Are you playing with 3 defenders or 4?
So I'm playing 3-5-2 most of the time, but I've got Robertson, Chilwell. It was Reguilon, and now it's Masuaku because that's all I could afford from West Ham. Dallas and Kilman.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if I was to, I guess I really did want Cresswell rather than Masuaku, but I couldn't afford him. I thought Cresswell looked incredible in their most recent game. Masuaku didn't really impress me that much, but he's playing left wing back and has great fixtures, and I could afford him. So
Yeah, see, I've got a really bold strategy of playing, you know, four really like mid-price defenders. Like my back four at the moment is Cresswell, Van Aanholt, Chilwell, and Alex Telles. Obviously, Alex Telles hasn't played yet, but I expect he will from next week onwards.
yeah, it looks like Shaw's injured, right?
He's injured, yeah, right. And you know, like Chilwell scored last week. He could have had another. Van Aanholt got an assist for the own goal. He could have had another goal as well. Like, I don't know if you watched Van Aanholt play last week against Leeds, but he was always making underlapping runs into the box. And whoever the left wing guy is, I think I broke up his name, Eze. Yeah, he always kept playing him in.
Yeah, Eze got a great score last week.
Yeah. So there was one run where Ben Holt made an underlapping run into the middle of the box. Eze played him in, and Ben Holt took a shot, and it was saved by Meslier. But you know, so there's those kind of runs. It's just that's the kind of player Ben Holt is. He's always going to be making those runs, attacking.
3 fantastic defensive fixtures up next as well.
Yeah. So I'm
Couldn't
very.
ask for much better than Burnley, Newcastle, and West Brom in a row, could you?
He's only 0.5% ownership as well.
Yeah, point taken. I actually really like that. I was actually thinking of selling Robertson to fund Son into Fernandes.
So yeah,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thanks.
basically, I'm set for the next like 5 or so game weeks with, you know, Cresswell, Van Aanholt, Chilwell, and Telles. That's my back four, and I'll just play around with my mids and forwards for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to be making defenders transfers, really.
No.
Anyway, I don't feel like anyway. I think the midfielders and attackers are where the explosions are more reliably coming from, usually.
I was forced into taking a -8 last week because of Christian Pulisic went down, Danny Ings went down. There was someone else too I had to get rid of. I can't remember.
Aguero?
Yeah, Aguero as well. That's right. So yeah, -8 last week, and I got 75 points, which is decent. So it's a step upwards at least.
Huh. Thanks, Keats. I actually really like that idea. Van Aanholt. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and he goes on streaks as well, Van Aanholt. It feels like he gets returns in really... It's always clustered, and then he'll go quiet for a bit, and then he'll get 5 or 6 weeks in a row where he'll do something. So could be a real... The next 3 could be huge from Van Aanholt. I wouldn't be surprised.
While we're on that game, does anyone here own Bamford?
Oh, no.
I don't do it out of respect.
Patrick, who?
Thank you.
Lucy, do you own Bamford?
I have Watkins, Kane, and DCL, so no room for me.
I was gonna say because Bamford had that goal, and then he had one
Disallowed goal.
The one disallowed that was it should have stood. In all honesty,
That was so shit.
Yeah, VAR is getting weirder and weirder.
Oh, wow.
he literally pointed to guy put past him, and that's he got put offside because his finger was offside.
Can I? Oh, have you guys seen? You know that meme where it's like the 2 Doges and one's like really like cool and strong, and one's like wimpy and small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bamford's like the wimpy small one, and then you have Ollie Watkins, who's like the big strong one. I'm gonna make that 1 sec.
Ollie Watkins last season in the Championship was 2 or 3 times the player that Bamford was in terms of being an asset for this sort of game. And I've got to give it. I can't slate Bamford too much because he's proved me wrong massively so far. But I honestly, every single week, I think he's going to fizzle out. He's going to go. He's going to keep missing chances like he always does. But of course, he's got a hat-trick under his belt, so anything's possible, I guess.
So does Watkins.
Watkins got a brace, hasn't he?
He
He got a hat-trick against Liverpool.
He did.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Watkins is the Chad in that relationship, I think. But they're the same price at the moment as well.
All right. That's great. Oh, what a great discussion. Are we gonna talk about the king of the game week curse? Or are we just like whatever?
I don't really believe in curses, to be honest. I think it's just
Can we actually think
probably the lesson from that is don't knee-jerk necessarily. Oh, who top scored last game week? Was it Bruno?
No, it was Oh yeah, it was Bruno. That's right. Yeah.
Bruno.
Yep.
So we'll see if that continues, I guess. But just you can't make decisions based on stuff like that. It's like I don't know the Kane August thing. Eventually, he scored in August. Everyone's like, "Oh, I should have had Kane." It's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry that the month of August did let you down this time."
That is me. Open that. Open that. Open that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Make that the thumbnail of the video.
Okay.
It says that and he misses against.
Oh, shall we? Do we want to shit on Scout?
It's hard to shit on a team that beat my team.
I was about to say, you 2 of you aren't really in a position to shit on anyone.
I beat this score this week, ha!
Yeah, so did I. 75 points, bitches.
Yeah, well, they got the captain wrong, didn't they? If they got the captain right, then they'd be.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mirrored that captain.
Yeah, I think it's a good team, isn't it? Let's be honest. I mean,
Well, it's an obvious team. Like Chilwell,
it is an obvious
Cresswell,
team.
and Lamptey were all very obvious teams.
Yeah, there's some really. I mean, like if you could have told me one fixture that was going to end 0-0, it would have been Burnley Brighton, and it did.
Oh, you know what? I'm so glad I didn't listen to one of my friends. My friends rang me. I think it was like Friday, and said after the news that Danny Ings is out for like 6 weeks. So I've had to trade him out. My friend gives me a ring and says, "Oh, you got to get Callum Wilson. Get Callum Wilson. He's killing it." And I'm like, I was so freaking tempted, and I was like, "Nah, he's burnt me so many times in the past. I'm not gonna do it." And then he fucking blanks. So I'm like, and Kane gets 9 points. So I'm so fucking glad I stuck to my guns and didn't cave and get Callum Wilson. That was
Is Southampton
been like
defensively a bad team?
sorry, what was that?
Is Southampton defensively a bad team now? I feel like
It's been great.
it's a bias that we
It's really
kind
weird.
of.
I honestly feel like they're solid until they concede 1 or 2, and then they collapse. It's like they conceded 5 against Spurs, 3 against Chelsea, 3 against Villa.
9
But
against.
otherwise, they've been solid. It's weird. Like they collapse or they stay firm. I don't know what it
Everyone's
is.
bringing in Vestergaard though.
Why he keeps scoring headers, doesn't he?
It's the same with it's the Zuma trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know
Yeah,
what?
When Southampton conceded 3 twice, Vestergaard just happened to score a goal, so we still got a good score. So it kind of like so Vestergaard's scores going backwards are 6-7-6, 7-7-6, but so he's either cleaned or scored a goal every week for that entire duration.
Yeah, Vestergaard didn't start the first 2 games, and he was still like the 3rd highest scoring defender at some stage.
Yeah, I thought something fun to do might be to try and guess or remember who the highest scoring player for each team is. Don't know if you want to try and play that game.
But I'm down.
Like now?
Yeah, I mean, let's do it. Arsenal. Who's Arsenal's highest scoring player?
Gabriel probably.
Bellerin?
Yeah,
Oh,
Gabriel's my guess.
It's Bellerin.
Yeah.
Oh.
But after Bellerin, it's Gabriel.
Yeah, I know. Because Bellerin came
Right.
with of assist and bonus. Anyway,
Villa.
Has to be Grealish, doesn't it?
Jack.
Yeah, looks like great.
Yeah,
Could
it's
be
Jackie.
Emmy.
Could be Emmy, yeah.
Could be Emmy, but yeah.
Jackie Grealish. Then it's Watkins. Then it's Emmy. Oh no, then it's Mings. Mings has grabbed a goal or 2, hasn't
Oh, true.
he? Brighton.
Morpay.
No, I think
Mopai?
wait, is it Morpay? No, I think it might be Matty Ryan.
Trossard?
No, it's definitely Morpay.
Yeah.
Lamptey's second, I
That's what
think.
It looks like, no, I can't believe you're saying it's Morpay. And I'm like, oh.
No, it's Morpay, yeah. And then Lamptey's second.
Oh yeah, shit, Lamptey.
Ryan's not doing that well, actually. Burnley.
Pope?
Yeah, it's Pope. Pope, then Taylor, I think.
Oh yeah, that assist, right? But that's really slim pickings. I'm surprised that
Yeah.
Chris Wood is. Or
Yeah,
maybe,
Chris Wood's not really got going yet. What about Chelsea?
Oh, I want to say Zuma, but
Yeah, it might be Zuma. Because he has 2 goals and a couple of clean sheets, I think.
if Reece James didn't miss all those games, it might be him. It could still be Werner because he's picked up a bit lately.
Yeah, so it is Zuma and then Werner shortly behind,
then
and
Chilwell?
Chilwell's third.
Yeah.
I think he missed the first 3 games and he's third, so it's pretty impressive. And George, I think is fourth, a few pens. Palace is pretty
Zaha.
obviously Zaha.
Quite obvious, yeah. Zaha.
I mean, who's second? Easy? Is Eze? I don't know how to pronounce that.
So
Would it be
second
Mitchell?
is
Oh, it could be Mitchell.
nope. neither of those. It's Townsend.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
Townsend's
go.
on 32.
Man like Townsend.
Everton,
Oh, that's a hard one.
The
DCL.
man, the myth, the legend.
DCL, yeah.
No, that's definitely Pickford.
Hammers ain't that far. Yeah, Pickford. Yeah, Pickford's been benched. Bless him. Fulham.
None of them. They're all
Only
0
Mitrovic.
points.
Is it Lookman?
No, it's not. Lookman's not even in the top 2 or 3.
It's got to be Mitrovic. Is your
It is Mitrovic, but it's not very impressive.
No.
Because I think, he got he had a brace one game week, but otherwise he's pretty much blank. Oh, he got some assists as well. 2 assists, 2 goals.
Yeah, you got 2 assists like last game week.
Oh, can we skip Leeds?
Wow, that's difficult. Like,
Is it
after
Hel?
Bamford-
Is it Costa? Is
No, it's
it?
Bamford.
Is it?
No, you are joking.
Oh, this game is not as mysterious as I thought I was hoping it would be. Leicester.
Yeah.
It goes to show you how much we know.
We should be
Leicester's
guessing second
Vardy.
highest.
Yeah, Leicester's Vardy. Yeah,
Who's after
Liverpool.
Vardy though? Is it Barnes?
Barnes.
After Vardy, it's not Barnes.
Fuck.
Ooh.
It's very
Is it-
close. So
Is it Yuri?
after Vardy, there's 4 players, and 3 of them are on 34,
Oh,
and one of them's on
Castagna,
35.
Castagna.
Castagna's on 35. He's missed 2 games as well. He's on 35, and then you've got
Justin's probably-
Justin, Tielemans, and Barnes are all on 34.
Yeah, Yuri.
Oh, and Schmeichel's on 34.
Schmeichel?
Tight. So Liverpool obviously is Salah. Just going to do that. Not going to bother going for it. After him is Mane. After him is
Oh.
Robertson. City.
Is it? I want to. I
Oh,
think it's Raheem the Dream.
Raheem.
I need to think about it a
Do
bit.
you know what's weird? It could honestly be like Phil Foden.
Well, Foden's only 1 point behind De Bruyne
Yeah.
so far.
So is it KDB?
No, it's Sterling. After
actually-
Sterling, it's Kyle Walker.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And yeah, KDB's 3rd currently.
How far back is your Cancelo?
So Cancelo's on 24. Sterling's on 33.
Who
Cancelo
is
obviously
excited for the Ben Mendy trap?
it's gonna come at some point, isn't it? But
Oh,
Cancelo's only started and played 4 games, and he's
every season,
points.
like Mendy strings together 3 games and he gets an assist in like 2 of them. And essential. And then he gets injured.
Manchester United. It's pretty easy.
Luke Shaw!
Luke Shaw. Harry Maguire.
Luke Shaw's actually on 14 points now. That's quite commendable considering he was on 0 total at one stage.
Up to like 5 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh yes,
love this.
obviously Bruno.
he just got an assist, I think.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Martial on.
Martial's on
After
7.
like 3 games and like
7? You got 7 somehow? Wow.
He's on 7. He's on the same
Oh,
points
he
as
got an
Cavani.
assist, right?
Cavani
Yeah,
has the same
Cavani.
amount of points as Martial. It's crazy. And so does Greenwood. Matic has got as many points. Mata has more points.
Wow.
Van der Beek's got more points. He's barely played.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did his score on his debut.
Van der Beek's got 75 minutes played so far in the league. 75 minutes played. He scored 10 points. 287 for Martial. 7 points. Crazy, man. Newcastle.
Oh,
Definitely.
Well, let's go 2nd for Newcastle because obviously we know who number 1 is.
it's gonna be ASM. Surely.
Is this the same Maximin?
Nope. Maximan's not even the top midfielder.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, Jeff Hendrick's top of midfielders because he got a whole game week 1 and then has blanked every game week since, but he's still got more points.
Oh wow, that is piss
I
poor.
was gonna say, didn't Paul Darlow said like a penalty save at one stage?
Yeah, Darlow's their second top point scorer,
Oh, is it really?
despite me slating his price. I don't care what happens next. His price is bullshit. He should not be playing games even. But yeah, he's on 35 points, which is, more than Robertson, for example, I think. Sheffield United, this could be quite an interesting one. It's tight with Sheffield United. So the top scorer has 22. Second is 21.
I want to say
Third is 20.
Is it
McGoldrick.
Ramsdale?
So Ramsdale's on 20. He's third.
Yeah.
McGoldrick?
Question?
McGoldrick's first.
Gold.
Yes!
With 22. Second is Sander Burge with 21.
That is relegation stuff there.
Southampton. It's quite tight, actually, between 3 players.
Is it
I'm
actually?
going to go Ings, Adams, and Vest.
KW.
I think Adams might have overtaken him now.
In fact, it's close between 4 players. So the top 4 are Ings, Adams, Ward-Prowse, and Vestergaard.
Vestergaard.
Yeah, and they're all above 40, which is
Vestergaard.
yeah, that's again more than Robertson, obviously more than Trent.
Oh, Vestergaard. Oh gosh.
So yeah, top is actually still Ings, but then he's on 47. Then you got Ward-Prowse on 43. Adams is now on 41. And Adams is still below his original price. And Vestergaard's on 40. So doing quite well, some of those Southampton assets for their price.
Vestergaard
We all sold them.
Vestergaard had the same shithousery last season. I don't know whether you guys remember. He was like top scoring defender after game week 5 or some shit like that.
Well, he's a giant lad, isn't he? Like, get a good cross on him. Like, Ward-Prowse has got on him. He's going to get goals, isn't he, I guess? Okay,
Yeah.
Spurs.
Definitely not Kane or Son. Definitely.
So, which of Kane or Son has more points?
It's Eric Dyer.
Well, I think Kane definitely.
What? Didn't Son have like a 40-point game week?
Yes,
He scored 4 in one week.
Yeah, I'd back Kane.
It is Kane, just. Kane's top scorer in the whole game currently on 80 points.
Oh, wow.
Son, I think he's still second top scorer on 74 points. After those two, it's actually such a huge drop. It's the third is Lloris.
Lol race.
Well,
Yeah, and Doherty's after, I think,
Okay.
because he obviously got his 12-pointer last week.
Time out. Can we talk about Spurs for a second?
Yeah, go on.
Blowing me so much.
Fixtures are terrible.
Their fixtures were so good, and they got lots of points, and now everyone thinks they're going to win the league. They can't win the league, surely.
Well, I definitely think they've ridden their good fixtures, and now they've got horrible fixtures, and it really does depend on what they do in these horrible fixtures. And I kind of expect them to drop off in them, but if they won all those games, it won't happen, I don't think. But if they did, then you'd have to start taking them seriously, I think. But until they do that, I think they've won the games you'd expect them to win.
The problem is this is second season Jose, which is the best Jose.
It is the best Jose. We'll see. Playing City this week.
All right, who's next?
Up next. West Bromwich Albion. So I'll
can't
say
even tell you who their players are.
the top 3 are separated by a point.
Probably
Is
like
it
Robertson or something.
Robson? Is that a player?
So their top players got 26 points, and their second place has 2 with 25 points.
Didn't
Pereira and Dyer.
Okay, so Carlin Grant's got to be up there.
No, Colin Grant has only played like 2 games.
Maybe
Yeah,
Jack
Carlin Grant's not there.
It's Colin Robertson, isn't it?
I'm going to go
Robertson.
Pereira and Diangana.
Oh yeah, Pereira. Completely forgot about
So Pereira's joint second with Callum Robinson.
Oh, really?
Top is he's Sam Johnson.
Huh.
Their
I
keeper
love-
is on 26.
Right.
I've not
Yeah, yeah.
named you 11 West Brom players.
Kieran
Oh.
Gibbs.
I couldn't.
What about Ivanovic and Higazi? They're all there, all the boys.
Sagazi left.
Oh, he's left. Never mind. He's on their list still. Okay, West Ham.
Probably Cresswell.
Antonio.
Antonio.
Antonio's nowhere near the top.
It's Cresswell.
Really? You're joking.
Yeah, so Antonio's on 27 points. The top scorer has 42.
Cresswell.
Cresswell has 38.
Oh. Is it? No, it's not.
Jared Bowen.
Bowen, yeah.
Bowen's got 36.
Nah, it's not such. Who's the?
It's not Suchek.
Oh, it's obviously it's Fornals. What are we saying? It's Fornals.
Yeah, Fornals is top.
Yeah.
Second is Fabianski.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't Fornals
Who's Fornals?
have crazy like a half percentage ownership or something? He has like a very low ownership.
He's 1.8% owned currently.
Yeah, and that's up from what it was.
Yeah.
At the start
Yeah.
of the. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got 42 points. Fabianski obviously
From
brought in a
where?
15-pointer last week by saving that
Keep
amazing penalty.
scoring. Fornals just keeps scoring.
Where? From where? I don't get it. How?
Yeah, he's got 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 bonus.
Do you know what's funny?
Played every game.
Fornals has been on our screen this whole time too.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Any blanks?
Yeah.
As expected,
Yeah.
blanks.
Oh yeah, he's the top scorer currently.
I don't understand. Where did he get these goals from? He got one against Liverpool.
He's just chipped away. I mean, like he's only returned in 2. Oh no, so he's returned in 3 games, and in 2 and he picked up 5 bonus across those 3 games.
Was it Wolves?
He got 2 assists against Wolves, got a goal and
Oh.
an assist against Leicester.
Oh,
Scored
Leicester.
against Liverpool.
Oh, Leicester. Okay.
Okay, final team.
Oish.
Wolves. Your team. You should get this.
Go on, Lucy. Have a guess.
I tell you what, this
Uh,
is probably the toughest team so far because there's a striker who's in the mix
Yeah.
who we're all aware of. There's
Balogun.
midfielders in the mix. There's defenders in the mix, and there's a keeper in the mix.
Oh, is the keeper which keeper?
It's to the pen last week.
So you got Rui,
He,
you got
he-
Himi.
Yeah.
he did save a pen last week, but he didn't keep it clean. They lost 1-0,
have-
didn't they? Because
Is it
Is it Sice?
so
There's,
so
yeah,
Saiss
Rui,
has done
Raul
bits.
says-
is it I want to say
Rui.
Neto?
Could be Podence even.
Nah, because Podence blanked every week. till
It's either
now.
Patricio or Sice.
I'd say
I'd go Jimenez, obviously.
Says first, Raul second, then Patricio third.
It's the exact opposite. It's Patricio first, Saiss second, Jimenez third.
Who's the mid?
Wow.
The midfielder, top midfielder is Neto, and
Okay.
then Podence. But they're pretty close. Yeah. So I guess we are quite up to date with what's going on. The only team we really didn't get, I guess, right away was West Brom, and I think we can be forgiven for that.
Yeah. Can we do relegation predictions?
West Brom
Now,
and Fulham, I guess, still.
I would be willing to put. I'm thinking about putting a bet on and saying, Brom, Fulham, Sheffield.
I'd agree with that.
I think that's fair. Sheffield United have been a lot poorer this season than I was expecting. I tell you what, Burnley haven't got going yet either.
Yeah, but Burnley,
Yeah, I think
not Dash. They
but-
always get their points.
Yeah,
Like
they'll Brexit it out at some point.
Burnley will be like last season's Villa, when they'll be languishing down there for ages and they'll just somehow survive by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to them. I think they're gone.
Yeah, I think you're right with that trio.
It's got to be
Yes.
West Brom, Fulham, and
They
Sheffield.
look so poor. All 3 of them look so poor.
Fulham can still very easily break the Derby's record if they wanted.
Well, Sheffield United have only got 1 point so far,
No.
but I think I expect them to get going a little bit at some point. Fulham hopefully the wheels fall off. And I mean, I feel for Fulham. I like the fans. I like the club. Seem very
Fulham
nice,
are
apart from the whole Michael Jackson statue thing.
Fulham are flying. They're on 4 points.
Yeah, they beat. Who did they beat? They beat someone anyway.
How did they
West Brom. They beat West Brom.
They
beat West Brom.
too. Okay, that doesn't count. And they drew with Sheffield. Sheffield's only point has been a draw with Fulham. How do you? And that was at home. How do you not beat Fulham at home?
Mitrovic missed the penalty.
Not a good sign. Yeah, so I think those teams are going to go down, and they're conceding a lot of goals, a lot of them. Like West Brom and Leeds have conceded the most goals so far, but Leeds also have the habit of scoring more than double the amount of goals of West Brom. Yeah, I think the relegation race might actually be quite simple this year. Usually
Really?
that's more interesting than the title race. Yeah, because I think at some point Brighton and Burnley and Leeds will pick up points, whereas I just think Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield they're just they're shit.
It looks like 3 spots for 4 teams at the moment. But yeah, Fulham,
Yeah,
West Brom,
possibly. It depends if some of them get going, because all it takes is a run of form, and you'll be clear of 2 of those teams at least.
I can't believe Leeds are so low because it feels like they've been playing well.
Well, they've scored more goals than a lot of teams. So
Yeah,
if you look at the other teams that played 8 games, they've scored nearly as many as Everton, who scored a lot.
They got smashed by Leicester and then they got smashed by Palace.
Yeah.
They just
You-
they look great against Liverpool as well, for example, but you don't get 0 points for looking. I mean, you don't get points for looking great. You get 0 if you lose the game, and they lost the game. And that's the worry, is people get swept up in the look how well they've played.
Nah, you've just got to look at how tight it is at the top. I think at the moment, if I'm not wrong, 8 points separate first from 12th, 13th.
Yeah, no, it's tight. I mean, that's what I mean. I think the title race this year is going to be completely bonkers. I think there's going to be a lot of teams involved in it because of. I just don't think City have really got going yet, and Liverpool. If you can name a key player, they've pretty much got injured or COVID at some point this season. It's literally, Mane's had COVID, Salah's got COVID, Van Dijk's out for basically the season. Alisson's been out, Trent's out. Fabinho's been injured. Thiago.
Listen.
Henderson. See, they've all missed periods. So because of that, I think that we're not going to see a 90-point season. I don't think so. It could be quite interesting at the top. Whereas I think there's clearly 3 shit teams, maybe 4. That'll go down. 3 will go down, obviously, but depends who's shitter between those.
Okay, shall we continue going down the Reddit list, or should we go RMT?
Let's go RMT. It's been now.
Let's do a bit of RMT and then we can call it probably.
Can we only?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Can we do this
by
one?
like controversial or something?
Yeah, sort by controversial. That's pretty good.
What are you
Okay,
showing
great.
us now, Liz? Stop getting distracted.
Okay, RMT. Let me go get that up.
r/debated Christian. Here we go.
Yeah, it's fun. Good to get alternate perspective. Okay, where is it?
It's pinned to the top usually if you don't have it sorted by new.
The
there it
daily
is.
one?
Yeah.
You've got So yeah, sort by controversial because most teams are going to be
yes.
quite template. Whereas controversial might give us a bit of spice. Oh, we've discussed Salah. All right, don't free hit because a player's got COVID. That's just stupid. Done.
No. Free hit when
He's
you're
got a
feeling
sick
bad about
team.
yourself and you want a confidence boost. It's a good little dopamine rush. That's when you use your free hit.
There's a PVA in that team.
Yeah, Keith would love that team. Keith would probably bite his arm off.
Not a bad team.
No,
That.
man, no. Even that's too much. Podence, Burke. more pay.
Hey, let's not diss Podence, all right? He's looked great, even if his manager doesn't rate him and
Our
puts him
team
off after
has
60
so
minutes.
many. Not so many. It has like just 2 dickheads on it. I have so many dickheads. It's just Caden Morpay.
Right,
Right.
next one. We don't. Oh, we don't. What is this? Oh,
Oh, it's always
can't be having keep Salah or transfer out forever. There we go.
Dallas
Bolton.
Joel Konza, Branthwaite Ferguson.
That is the weakest bench I think I've seen.
Yeah.
Branthwaite Ferguson Alzate.
The midfield's insane though.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
the problem is
what you
Salah's missing.
Yeah, nah. Gotta start Alzate.
Yeah,
That's the issue, isn't it?
That's
I think you always
amazing.
need a strong bench. First one anyway, strong first bench. Otherwise you've got situations like this where player
How-
gets COVID.
How is his bench that shit and he's only got 0.5 in the bank? I know he's got
he
I don't
has
know, you know.
3
He's
big
got Kane,
midfielders
Bruno,
and Kane.
Salah. He doesn't even have
Can
a.
he turn Brandwaite into a 4.5?
Well, that's what the guy suggested, Branthwaite or Ferguson.
Yeah, he's got it. The only thing he can do is like Branthwaite or Ferguson to like a Vestergaard or something
There,
like that.
there
He'll
are
have
so
to-
many
he'll have to.
4.5s. It's just getting like Lamptey, bro. No,
No,
probably
Lamptey's
not.
Lamptey's 4.7.
I mean, get him in 3 weeks ago. I don't know. There are heaps of good 4.5s you can choose.
5 or is Consa like
Just
0.7?
get KWP.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to do that so he's got an actual first bench worth it down and then Salah can come back in. Because the front
Is
line
it worth
is good.
upgrading Saturday?
To who though? To Souček, I guess.
So like look.
Yeah. Souček's pretty good. Right
Saka. I mean, Saka's playing every game.
Something like that could work. But it's just, yeah.
He can't afford Saka.
Okay.
I'd probably do a defender because if none of his defenders play at the moment, then no sub will come on for him because Branthwaite and Ferguson don't play currently.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to offer advice to that team with only 1 free transfer. Like if he had 2, you could maybe say you could drop like DCL or maybe drop Bamford and upgrade someone else to like Alzate to maybe a mid-price mid or something. But
Conte's dropped Bamford and his face lights up. I mean, alternatively, could he do Salah to KDB?
Could do.
yeah,
Or-
I was thinking for a hit you could do Son down to Ziyech and upgrade someone massively, but
he already has Bruno, so really the only way up from Salah is KDB.
yeah, but no. If you went to Ziyech, you could upgrade something elsewhere. I don't know. Depends what you want to upgrade.
yeah.
But it's not a great spot. I mean, this is the problem when you've got such a shit bench, and
Okay,
it's just
next one. I want to see.
you kind of accept it, don't you?
I wanna
You can
see-
just pick up a West Ham defender. He can get Kufala Masuaku.
Yeah, why don't you just does that? Just get Kufal. Kufal's 4.5 still.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, what's the next one? Interesting.
Is it time to
Very,
wildcard?
very interesting.
Yeah,
You could tell he had a wild card and he just brought in the highest ranked 5 mil midfielder. Because he has Jorginho.
I
there.
honestly don't think it's worth a wild card.
No. I'm saying
It's not wildcard worthy, is
I'm
it? I mean,
saying
Dinier's out
he
though, isn't he?
used a wild card. Oh no, he hasn't. He hasn't used.
He hasn't. He wants. Yeah, he's asking whether he should wildcard.
Oh, well,
Ramsdale
This
Ryan
feels
combo
like
is not good.
But you can get away playing Ryan though. You can get away playing Ryan.
Yeah,
Um,
but is
Taylor,
Dinier back now, or is he still out?
I don't know, but even if Dinier's out, you can still play Walker Peters. That's
Yeah, Dinier's back. So just play
play Chilwell, Dinier.
keeper, Chilwell, Dinier, 2 of the other 3, I guess, because you don't necessarily want to play
And then,
George or
Jorginho.
Brewster.
Is
Oh,
Jorginho
and Salah's out, isn't he? So
because Timo Werner took a penalty in the Champions League when Jorginho was on the pitch.
George is not an option, and he never was really. But now he's definitely not an option.
Is he still on pens, or is he taken off pens entirely now?
I guess we don't know in the league, but yeah, in the Champions League, Werner took him.
I think his plans are actually really good. He doesn't have to worry too much.
But why is he considering Aguero?
I
His
don't
plans
know.
are really good.
That's his forward plan, I guess. And
His plans are actually really good. He just has to change a couple of names in there.
By the way, he wants to take a -8 hit, and he wants to bring in James. That's interesting.
Yeah, so now he can delay the Son move. So he can go Salah plus Jorginho into whoever, maybe KDB and Ziyech. That works. Or is that not enough?
I'm
Oh no,
curious,
I don't think it's.
why is he not considering Vardy over Aguero?
Yeah, but he can do that later. But at the moment, for the game week 9 team, he can just do Salah and Jorginho to Bruno and Ziyech. That's a -4.
So is he wanting to wild card this week, or is he asking whether he should wild card in game week 12, like his original plan?
He wants to wild card this week because he's got too much to handle.
Well, I would say if he's done that, make that effort, just make a plan, just stick with the plan, man.
Yeah, it's a great plan.
But there's certainly worse things he could do. If he wild cards this week, his plan's out the window.
yeah, I guess what's Sice's spot like at the moment?
Dice is not anywhere near the team, right? Because you
Yeah.
got
Not at the
Bench at the moment.
Semedo,
Dinier's back, and Taylor and Walker Peters both
Semedo,
fine.
RAN on the left. You got Marcel somewhere there. Then you got Cody and goalie, yeah.
Like, if he were to wild card now, I have no idea how many players he would change in that team. Not a lot. I'd say that. He wouldn't change a lot. Like, if he wild cards now, he faces the risk of selling Son and Kane too early, which, I don't know about you guys, seems 50-50 at the moment. Like, it's really early to jump off Spurs players now, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of people have Kane and Son, and I'm thinking, I mean, what I'm doing anyway, so what I guess I think is the right thing to do is to drop one of them and then see how they get on. Because, like, their fixtures are horrible. So I think double huge cost attackers in the next 6 games just doesn't, I don't feel comfortable about that, but their form is good.
Yeah.
Son's blanked the last 2, I think, but his form's still good.
Well, like in his plan, he's got game week 11 to go Salah to De Bruyne. Wouldn't it just make sense to just do Salah to De Bruyne this week and then just
Yeah, because Salah's going to miss 9, isn't he? And then all you're missing there is 10, which is.
if he does Salah to KDB, he cannot upgrade Jorginho and anyone else. So it's better that he does Salah to Bruno. Then at least a 2.0 allows him Ziyech.
right.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, next. Wait.
Oh,
He's
I think I'd say yes at the moment. I mean, Podence
Where's
keeps getting
Beyond
taken
me?
off at bloody 60 minutes. If Podence could actually stick out through a game, he might get more points because he looked quite threatened and he seems to grow into the second half. And then as soon as you think the points might come, he gets subbed off.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Armstrong? Is that a good option?
It's not there.
He's fine, I guess. I'm not,
When
he's not someone I'd want to be starting every week.
when everyone's fit, you got the like Ings, Adams, Redmond, and Theo Walcott. So where's Armstrong going to be fitting there?
Yeah, I mean, annoyingly, I'd rather have Adams, who has scored phenomenally after I sold him.
Yeah, likewise.
They're not too dissimilar in price.
I mean, Suchek's all right. he's had the most shots out of anyone, I think.
Every game he has a great chance. It's just obviously this time he took it.
Yeah.
But
the thing
done
is that
fine.
you can't play him every week.
No, but I mean,
You test that guy
West Ham's fixtures, I wouldn't mind starting him for a lot of them. But it's kind of, he's the ideal person, I think, to have as your first bench to bring on when someone's got a bad fixture.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like you can't be expecting points from him every week. But if someone doesn't play, you can sort of have that sort of peace of mind knowing that he's got a good chance of getting points.
Yeah, and almost against anyone as well, because it's kind of,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're playing when you've got a massive guy like that making a good run into the box. He's anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could also, as Justin said earlier, you could also consider Bukayo Saka as well. I'm pretty sure he's same price as Armstrong now.
Okay. All right. Next. Oh, look, Rhys Williams.
I'm confused. Is this the same?
Is that
That's
the
not
Liverpool
one-
centre back?
Is he Australian?
Yeah. Like, is that the Aussie?
Is it the Aussie? I swear there's an Aussie.
Yeah, I think.
Williams who played for Middlesbrough for like 10 years.
Yeah, he played
Oh
for-
no! Oh yeah. Rhys Williams is a Liverpool player.
Is he related to Nico Williams or?
I don't know.
He's related to Ineki Williams. Not really. I made that up.
While we're on Nico Williams, by the way, does anyone like him? He's 3.9. He wasn't on the
Has he played a minute yet? I don't think he has.
Wait,
He's not played a single
Neko
league minute
or
so
Rhys?
far.
Nico Williams because he wasn't on the bench last game, so Milner came on. But now that he's available, do you reckon he'll start?
I'm more interested
Possibly.
in
That,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see, won't we?
If you're on a wild card and he's 3.9, I'd say take the pot on him. Just get him.
Yeah, it could be worthwhile because, as you say, 3.9 bench fodder territory anyway, and
Yeah.
with
And
Trent
at
out,
this point in time,
play.
you're not really playing to triple up on Liverpool anyway, aren't you?
not at the moment.
Unless you have like Salah, Mane, and Jota and Robertson or someone.
But yeah, this is a pretty templatey wildcard. Not much you can say.
I wouldn't say
feel like something
Cancelo is
maybe fine.
template.
Cancelo is not in that many teams, and he's
Or
looked good.
Bissouma.
Yeah, I really like Cancelo. I just can't fit him in.
No, he might be my Robertson replacement at this rate, but we'll see.
But you know what?
Okay.
One more, Lucy.
Yeah, one more. Let's go.
I was going to say, you know what will happen is everyone will jump on Cancelo next week when City's fixtures turn.
Yeah, Mendy will come back.
And then it'll be like it'll be either Mendy will come back or it'll be Kyle Walker getting all the points.
Yeah. Solid midfield,
I mean,
solid front two,
Yeah. Can't see many wrong with that. And
solid
Nyland-
defence. Problem is, obviously, with Salah missing, who comes on for him there?
By the way, whatever happened? Have you guys noticed it's been a trend the past 2 years or so? No one gets in premium goalkeepers anymore. It just
Not yet.
since David De Gea had that insane season, like no one gets the goalkeepers because
Yeah.
I think. Do you know what changed it? I think we had like 2 seasons in a row of just Burnley goalkeepers being godly. At
Yeah.
like
Agreed.
5 mil, and so no one wanted to spend money on goalkeepers anymore.
I think there's just a lot more advice out there as well, and I think most people, when you watch different podcasts, or whatever, everyone's like, "Oh, just go the cheapest keeper you can get." It seems to be all the rage these days.
The thing is though, like you're gonna pay like 5.5 for a De Gea, or whatever his price is now. He just sits there. He gets like maybe one, 2 saves a game. It's not enough for a point. He'll lose his clean sheet, get 2 points. Whereas if you paid the same price, 5.5 for a Wan-Bissaka or a Maguire, who actually get up corners, have a chance of getting attacking points, they're obviously going to go for Wan-Bissaka or Maguire, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the most points per game at the moment is Emi Martinez, and Edison's played the same number of games, and he's just far further down. And obviously, Alisson's had his injuries, and he's not got that many points either. And Lloris is doing okay, not great.
It might be a phase thing. Like after the winter break, usually premium goalkeepers outscore the 4.5s.
And I think this season there's always a couple of keepers that you just have a good feel for. You always know they're going to get high up in bonus. They're going to always get saves. Kind of like Nick Pope when he first came into the Burnley team. He was 4.5, and like pretty much every game he kept a clean sheet. He'd get at least 2 bonus every time. And even the season before, Jack Butland at Stoke. Jack Butland was one of those players that if he played and got at least 3 saves, he'd get at least 2 bonus because his distribution was so good. So you get a feel for these keepers that get points often, and you just stick with them. And they're usually the cheaper keepers that get loads of saves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the saves, isn't it? Because it's just the way the scoring system is.
Yeah. Like don't get me wrong. Like Edison and Alisson, they're amazing keepers, but they're not going to get loads of saves because the defenders are also so good in front of them.
Yeah.
So the one chance that sits by the defense is it's like 50-50 chance of going in.
Yeah, no, I think it's sensible. I don't know. Maybe they need to look at how. I don't know what you can do because what else can you judge a goalkeeper on other than saves and clean sheets and things like that?
Bonus points.
Yeah, bonus. That's it.
Yeah.
Check their ICT index.
Oh, well. Yeah, otherwise, a good team, I think. Just quite template, but what can you say? I mean, it's quite interesting to see that there is actually a keeper there that isn't just a 4.5 starter. But double Chelsea defence, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, this lineup looks really oddly expensive. Huh.
Well, to be fair, he has Davis, Dunn, Mitchell, Nyland.
Yeah, so with Salah out, it's going to be quite an interesting.
I don't think does he have anyone coming? He has to hope Mitchell plays.
He's out. Mitchell's
I
out.
disagree with Vardy. Does he have to have Vardy? Ugh.
Nah, get Bamford in instead.
Because obviously, if he's got the money in the bank,
Watkins.
Yeah, you have to upgrade Davis to a Watkins or a Che Adams or someone, or even a Bamford.
Oh. That is a weird team.
Yeah. I mean, he
That is a very weird.
He has DCL and James, so you could argue that he could get rid of one of them. Downgrade James to maybe a Diogo Jota or someone. That'd give you at least 1.5 to upgrade Davis to like a Watkins or an Adams, or even to upgrade Mitchell to a 5.0 defender or someone.
Oh, this is such a bad time to wildcard. Oh, it's such a bad time to wildcard. Oh my god. Actually, yeah, this is as weird as it gets for 3-5-2. No KDB, no Spurs, but this is what it should look like.
I wonder if this is after transfers because it's hard to believe someone would have 0 Spurs leading into this game week with them having the 2 top scorers and players like Reguilon looking good.
Yeah. You can't really ask for an RMT when he hasn't given us how much money he has and how many transfers he has.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, would you guys consider Mendy? I think he's the first legit 5.0.
he's making
keeper.
saves, right?
Definitely in consideration.
Yeah.
The problem is I want Chilwell. I've got Chilwell.
Like if you own Aaron
Do I
Ramsdale,
want double defense? I don't know.
like if you own Aaron Ramsdale, he's a straight swap from Ramsdale.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Would you recommend Mendy for Fionn?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
why
is he
not?
worth a free transfer?
Like provided that he has Chilwell or one of Chilwell or Zuma plus maybe a Ziyech or Havertz or something like that. Probably not Havertz, as he's got COVID, but you know they're pretty popular picks. Does he want to triple up or double up maybe in defense? It's up to him. But to tell you who's done really well is Alex McCarthy. Since we've all sold him.
Huh.
Yeah,
Don't remind me.
yeah, he has.
It's Adams. Since I sold Adams, he's become the top scorer in world football.
That's what happened, isn't it?
And Werner.
It's just that 1 week. Timo Werner, Che Adams, and sell both of them, and they both go on rampant runs.
Classic.
That's just FPL for you.
Yeah, it's just FPL for you. I think we did something similar with Nick Pope last year, right? Like it was such a popular thing to sell him in winter, and then after that he proceeded to nearly get Golden Glove. That was crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
what are we doing? Are we wrapping up or?
Yeah, I think we should wrap
Do
up.
more.
This is good. Yeah, next pod will be a proper pod. But yeah, as things stand. Oh yes. Final thoughts. How do you guys feel for the US, or do you think that it's just more of the same and they're just gonna go back to whatever they were doing?
Are we talking politics now?
Pause.
That's
a long
one
discussion.
Word. Just
Well, I don't know. I just think
Whatever will happen.
it might be more polite, but like, are they going to be that different on the world stage? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's not one word. It's more but complex issue. You
Like,
know?
I mean, I bring this up because I think the vaccine development is significant, especially for the world of football, because obviously the athletes are going to get it first, and I think things will change from there based on how soon
Yeah,
the
I mean
vaccine.
that could actually impact FPL, as you say. It'll go to like healthcare workers, politicians, that sort of person, and then it could easily go to elite sports people first. So you got to imagine money might talk there somewhere.
Yeah, because I just found it so immensely frustrating that you've got COVID running amok, and then you've got players going for international games for the sake of money. As it is, the fact that players are still getting COVID left, right, and center, but still playing Premier League games with these isolation protocols, there's no transparency, right? Like, all we know is that the players get tested every day, at least we assume so, but there's no transparency on who gets what, and then we hear shit like, there's a player who tested positive, but he only found out halfway into his actual game when he's already made contact with all the players on the pitch.
Yeah,
That sort of
it's very strange to me. They've got these protocols to have these bubbles with every team, and everyone's super careful. And it's like, let's send everyone to mixed bubbles for a fortnight.
Yeah.
And let's go to like weddings and stuff. It's like, how is that in any? I don't know. It's happened now, isn't it? But it just seems so bizarre to be that friendlies.
Yeah.
I can kind of understand competitions, but friendlies, like honestly.
Why? Who thought that was going to be a good idea?
And we're playing 3 games in the 2 weeks as well, so it's not like, we needed to have an extra fixture in there to make it worthwhile or whatever. We've crammed it in. Oh, well.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll
my
see, I
biggest
guess.
fear is that we get another lockdown, like like another 4-month extended period where too many people get COVID at once. And
Well,
then that's
we're
it.
in lockdown at the moment, but it's not affected football, at least in this country. But we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Looking forward to see you boys on Thursday. Catch you guys.
Right, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Keith, sign us off, please.
Then it will rise, and we will keep on rising.